Hello everybody and welcome back to Stealwing33 Plays Playerunknown's Battlegrounds. My name is Stealwing33 and today, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the live servers. As you can see, I have all of my gear and stuff available, so we're going back in with my actual character, which is very exciting because that means that we are in patch 1.0. Today, PUBG is officially one of the lonely small amount of games that have ever escaped early access, complete and finished. You guys can't see it. I'm doing air quotes. Game's not done. It's just entering what I call perpetual development hell. They'll continue, presumably going to continue adding things to the game. It will never technically be finished. It will always be in beta. But we've exited the portion where I can officially stop saying, well, at least the game's just in early access, which means that any gripes you have about performance, glitches, bugs, things like that are actually legitimate because the game is in its full release build now. So those things should probably be taken care of. What do I know about this patch? Well, I know that they've ported over all of the things that they had from the test servers. So all of the server fixes, the performance issue fixes, the hitching issues, the new map, the new guns, a little bit of everything has been ported over. It sounds like we've gotten a Rangel, unfortunately, on today's episode, but that's okay. You know what? It's good to start a new series back off with the classics. I do know Miramar is weighted more heavily to be the one that gets selected, and I also know that they removed Rain and Fog, which is actually kind of a disappointment. They removed it because they're trying to optimize them for performance, and they know that the game's going to be having a large influx of people, and so they want to optimize it so that the first, launch week isn't a bunch of people complaining about how the rain and the fog map are ass, which I understand and find to be a legitimate reason to remove those two things. I just really hope that they get put back in because I feel like they're good additions. Shaking up the gameplay of a game like this is important and vital for its longevity because it's essentially the same gameplay loop over and over again. The thing that changes is the kitschy bits, right? Like when you're traveling from building to building, place to place, it's the exciting moments between those two things that that matter. And with the maps like the rain and the fog map, we're really seeing ourselves in a situation where those moments change, they adjust, they feel better. Things like that. We're going to Primorsk. We're going to Primorsk because it is the most out-of-the-way town on the path of the airplane. I didn't really feel like going to military base on the first day of the patch, which, if you have any experience doing anything with online patching, or if you've ever played an MMO, or if you're a WoW player, you know that it's not really a great idea to go do something really spicy and, that requires a lot of tactility the first day of a patch, ever. In general, you end up with performance issues out the ass. I'm just going to quickly pan and see if there's anybody else dropping in with me, because it would be feasible. But it does not look like it. It looks like I am alone, which is actually pretty good. Alright. Not bad. Got ourselves some bullets. Got a backpack right off the bat, which is pretty good. Yeah, you never want to do anything that is going to tax your machine first day out the gate in a new patch of anything, for that matter. There's almost always performance issues on the first day of a patch, and that's not coming from, that's not like a PUBG thing, that's an everything thing, right? There's always problems that didn't get caught. As a guy that makes video games for a living, there's always a problem that you didn't catch. A bug tester didn't report it. It got put in a pile and forgotten about. A series of problems that you fixed created a new problem that never got discovered because the first area was cleared, and so it never got revisited. Things like that. We are going to take this tack stock. I'm going to put that flash hider over there. It happens, and it's an inevitability. I'm going to go out on a limb and tell you that it's an inevitability. There's really nothing you can do about it. Except be more diligent, I guess. But really, it's about trying to be flexible when you release stuff. Is probably the best lesson I can teach. The best lesson I can say is that you got to be flexible when you release stuff. Being able to go back and fix things. That's why services like Steam are actually really great for developers because they let you go in and fix shit when you've broken it on accident, right? And you might be saying, oh, well, you know, just don't release games that are broken. Again, there's too much shit in most games. Simple games? Yeah, alright. Games like Mario, like the original Super Mario Brothers is a simple fucking game. It's got, what, 3 buttons, 4 buttons? It's got 4 buttons. Run, jump, and move left and right? All of which are, I guess it's got 5, because it got down, go into things. And then later installments, they got up to go into things. But, like, all of those things are not complicated, so you can focus a lot more on, like, making sure your gameplay loop and all of your programmable stuff functions correctly, right? But in a game like this, like, imagine how think about the number of moving parts there are in this game. It's absurd. It's an absurd number of moving parts, right? Like, so you have, first you have your 3D models, which they have to behave, or people get angry, right? And so if they don't behave, then people get pissed, and you're like, okay, well, so we'll focus on that, right? Problem is that that's a very specialized skill. It requires a individual of expertise and training to do, right? It's not like programming. It's not something that you can sort of like monkey your way through using like on-run resources and things like that. Don't get me wrong, there's some programming that you cannot do that with, right? Like, I can't sit down and be like, yeah, I'm gonna make fucking Halo by looking up online tutorials. Like, that's ridiculous. That's not how that works. And I'm not saying that's how that works. Programming is also a specialized skill. But for certain tasks, like making a character move like this, you can steal that. Like, straight up. You can just go online and steal someone else's work and slap it into your game. Just slap it right in, and then it'll function. It won't be great, but it'll function. In fact, that's like Playerunknown. I'm pretty sure this is a third-person Unreal controller that they've doctored up and like made their own, essentially. We did that with my game. It started out as a player controller that we purchased, and then we have since scrapped everything from the original player controller because it actually got in the way, and built our own on top of like the wreckage from the old one, essentially. You know, fucking forest fire style, like it completely demolished it and rebuilt it. But that took like a month, like 2 months to like actually get through, and so it's not easy to do that kind of shit. So yeah, so you got the art assets, which, you know, you can steal, but people will notice. So a lot of that's you gotta make it, or you at least gotta put effort into dolling it up so it doesn't look like you stole it. Like, a lot of these buildings are assets, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that these were purchased on a store. Just judging by the face count, and from what I understand about 3D models in video games, which is very minimal. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm not a 3D modeler. I have made 3D models, and I've animated them. That was part of my education as a computer game, or as a, what was it? It was a digital media arts with a focus in computer game development production. There you go. Yeah, how about that for a fucking degree title? It should have said like 200 grand piece of garbage. That's essentially what it was. Yeah. I don't know. I liked school. I think the best thing about going to college was that it gave me the opportunity to meet people who are going into the same field as me, which gave me the opportunity to make connections so that I could basically pad up the things that I don't know how to do. Like, I'm a terrible programmer. I'm a legitimately terrible programmer, which, to be honest, might be part of the reason why that revolver didn't have any bullets. Concerning. I don't have a helmet yet. I don't know if that revolver didn't have bullets because it didn't have bullets, or if it didn't have bullets because somebody came in and picked them up. That one also didn't have any bullets. Well, there's a helmet here, so we'll grab that. At least mildly safer now. I didn't see anybody fall in here with me, though. Unless that motorcycle somebody drove up. It's possible. I'm running around with my pistol out because my pistol is the only full auto weapon I have. So if I bump into somebody in a building, this is actually the best option I have right now. I can use the M16, but the M16 is better for mid-range. than it is for up close. I'm holding on to it because I'm kind of hoping we'll find a Scar or an M4 somewhere in one of these buildings. Yeah, they really made the 1911 super shiny. We are going to pick up some more car bullets as well. I don't... You guys heard that too, right? There is someone in this town with me. Oh, alright. Well, this isn't great. I'm not in the circle anymore. Thought I was alone. I was running around like a loon. The glass breaking came from this direction, if I'm not mistaken. Should still have my handgun out if I'm going to go into any more buildings. I haven't actually been on a Rangel in a long time either. It's got to have been like 3 weeks since I actually played on this map, like at all. Should I take the UMP? The decisions are important. I think it's weird. They had a weird release schedule for PUBG. So they launched the game obviously today. I think they launched it at like 3 a.m., which is a normal patch time for most. Like it's a server rollover time for most games, right? Like that's. I'm not gonna say it's industry standard because that doesn't. I don't think there is an industry standard for this sort of thing. But like every game I've ever played has always rolled over at 3 a.m. WoW did. This did. I feel like I'm actually getting close to whoever this is that is in this town with me. Which means we're going to be going inside. Is it more cover on the interior than on the exterior of Primorsk? And then we're going to find a building and hunker down. I haven't decided which building yet. Probably that one. I'm like 90% sure that this guy's behind me. Like I said, I've been running around like a loon. Close to any of the doors that I've been in. Alright, so, what was I on about? I was on about something. I don't remember what I was talking about now. Oh yeah. So there's just a lot of moving parts in this game. And they had a really weird release schedule because they've had a lot of these changes up on the test server for a while. These things don't just pop up, right? A whole new map doesn't just pop up. Like, the UI changes don't just pop up. These aren't things that just, like, poofed into existence in, like, a week, right? Like, a lot of these changes have been there. And so I'm trying to decide if they were holding them back in order to make the 1.0 release look better, or if they were holding them back because there were problems. And it can go either way. Legitimately. It could go either way. Alright. My friend from this town has apparently vacated the premises. Which means I can now safely move about the country, but... I'm a wee bit nervous still, just because, like, so PUBG's been fucking with me lately. They must have done something to the way audio works, because, like, or the way drop-ins work, because, like, I have not seen people drop in with me who have, like, been on top of me, like, the whole time. I've walked past people, while just, like, going about my business, as if they weren't there. Like, I found myself sneaking up on people on accident a lot more often. I don't know if it's because they changed the way the audio balance works, or if it's like I'm just bad, like I've just gotten worse at the game over time. Legitimately, would accept either one of those as an answer. But, you know, regardless of the reason, it's made the game a lot scarier. Right? Yeah. So, but what I was saying, a lot of these changes aren't easy to manufacture, right? You know, they've been dropping tweaks and jimmies every now and then. You know, things like small performance tweaks, changes to the way that, you know, things spawn in, changes to like the texturing and the 3D modeling of certain objects to make them, you know, more CPU and GPU friendly. There have been a couple, like the sound effect changes, things like that. Those are all easy, right? They take like maybe an hour out of somebody's life to implement correctly, right? And that's assuming that they're not using some sort of like prefab-based, like some sort of prefab-based construction, right? Like we use only prefabs, right? So if we need to make a change, the time it takes us to make that change is like minuscule. Because like if I want to switch a sound in the game, like let's say I don't like the way like our main character's jump sounds, right? I can go into Unity and like drop a file into like a box, and it makes the character jump sound change, right? And Unreal's even more simple, because Unreal is the same thing, but you just have to drag and drop it onto the character, and it updates it across the entire project, right? Like forever, which is what a prefab does. But you know what I mean. So like, my question is, like, why were they hiding so many of these changes? Like some of the UX changes, I kind of understand, right? But like, they kind of updated the in-game UI. That compass at the top where it actually tells you the numbers, like, leagues and bounds better than the one that we were using before. You know, things like the changes to the driving physics. Okay, I can see why that took a while to implement, right? I can see why you would hide that. You wanted to check it out and test it and see if... honestly, I didn't mean to turn in there, by the way. I meant to go this way. I overturned with the dune buggy. Which is actually has a purpose in existing now. It's actually a very good off-roading vehicle. There's a difference between driving on the road and driving in the grass, and that so the car you pick actually matters now. Driving a Dacia cross-country, not a great deal. Driving a Nuaz, better. Things like that. So that's kind of cool. Like they could have updated the compass. They could have updated the mini-map, all these like little accoutrements that they've done. They could have updated those things, but they didn't. They like held them back. And I'm curious why they would have, why you would choose to do that in this situation where you have like people, fans of your game, complaining about like the way the UI looks, the way everything kind of feels weird, things like that, right? Like if the game was like fine and people were pretty okay with it, generally speaking, right? Then yeah, sure, you hold those back, and then you drop them in big updates so that way you guys look like fucking gods on Earth, right? But like, PUBG had a very bad publicity issue for a while, and it's interesting to sort of be playing this now after having played it on the... Like, I joined the test server late. Really late. And I'm, like, shocked at how different the game is on the test server. I was, like, legitimately like, oh, yeah, like, I'm never playing on the live servers until they update it, right? Like, I was sitting there saying, yeah, that's the better choice, is to play on the unstable, janky-ass test servers that were never meant to hold the number of people that they held, right? And it's interesting. It's an interesting choice. From one developer to another, I find that choice confusing, but I find it interesting. And we'll see how it plays out. I mean, the reception of 1.0 has been positive so far, mostly. There's always complaints. You can never do anything in life without people complaining about it, or assuming that they know how to do it better than you. That is a sad truth. That life is not very kind to those who try to innovate, and it's less kind to those who show others. But sometimes, you know, it takes a lot of bravery to show off your work, and it takes a lot of bravery to take center stage on a platform that is very big. Steam's a very big place, but not so big. Like, Steam's so big that the fact that this game made headlines was a surprise to me, right? But it's not so big where, like, it got swallowed by all the other stuff that was out there. I'm trying to decide where I want to stay, by the way. If you're wondering why I keep opening the map like a spaz, it's because I don't know where I want to go. I don't really want to sit out in the open. I kind of want to try to take high ground. But I don't really want to be in Pachinki, right? Like, I don't want to go up to Pachinki Church. That did not seem like a great idea. Ow. Like, Pachinki Church doesn't feel like a good idea. I want to go up high because I have a sniper rifle, and I want to kind of make use of it. That building. That's our building right there. I heard a different thing that was not the airplane coming. Oh! Oh, I thought I had my handgun out. I clipped that guy straight in the head. That was amazing. Did you see that shit? Whoo! Yeah, I was gonna shoot him with my fucking handgun. Fucking clocked him in the brain with my fucking car. Holy hell. Well, I gotta go loot that guy now, right? Like, that's gotta happen. I fucking earned that, I guess. Like, holy shit. I'm gonna let that guy go. I don't think. Let's put it like this. That was an outlier. There's no way in hell I'm that good of a shot. Ooh, this guy was fucking loaded on this fucking kits. What do you have on him for an AK? Interesting. I've unfortunately filled myself up with garbage. Alright, let's drop that. That. I'm not using those. I want that and that. 3 backpack will hopefully give me the room to carry some more. Alright, there we go. I don't need anything else. I'm good. I also am missing one of the doors on this building. It must have gotten shot up. Somebody must have come in here and blew through this door. Like, it's the only reasonable explanation. It's not a great... This roof isn't great, just because, like, there's, like, so many angles I can get shot at from, and you're really kind of hemmed in. I tried to use that roof before. Like, the building's fine. I think we'll stay here. We might go over there, to be honest. I have an issue with that roof because of the fucking railing right there. Ain't great. I'm gonna be honest. I'm still reeling from the fact that I, like, cold clocked that guy with the car. Like, I'm stunned that I hit that shot. I was, like, ready to be dead. I was like, yeah, this is it. This is where I die. He must have hit me in the arms or something, because I didn't take very much damage, and none of my armor's damaged. But I was like, I couldn't pull out my gun, because I was, like, in the middle of switching weapons to the car when I tried to aim. And then it, like, fired, man. I just fired, you know, and then he was gone. I was just like, wow, man, life's a fragile thing. I'm kidding. I'm a stone cold killer. Did I close this door down here? It might be the only warning I get. Okay, yeah, that's like... That door might be the only warning I get if somebody enters this building, because the door down below is blown off, so... That ain't gonna warn me. I'm trying to decide... So we saw a guy... So one dude drove up in this fucking... His car flipped over, too. He got out prematurely. Yeah, I wanted to take my handgun out and blop him real hard with it. It does good damage. It's basically a micro Uzi. Like, legit, it's actually basically a micro Uzi. If you don't believe me, you should use it and find out for yourself. At some point, I'm going to find that machine gun as well. Like... I have no idea if I hit that guy or not. Got him. Cold clocked him in the face. Unfortunately, I've now alerted everybody to where I am. So I know they changed bullet velocity on a lot of the guns. They changed the way the ballistics works. He's right behind that tree. I can't see him from here. Yeah, he's like right here. Again, we're playing like this mostly because I have this sniper rifle, by the way. If I didn't have this car, we'd probably have gotten into a different kind of building. Probably not. I still prefer high ground in most situations. Yeah, but the car bullets move way faster than they used to. I don't know if you're noticing that, but like they're moving fast enough where I can see them hit the ground when I scope out. I gotta be careful, though, because I only have a level 2 helmet, which means I can get card. The thing I'm doing to people where I'm hitting them in the face, that can happen to me. The neck now counts as part of the face, by the way, which is interesting. I'm real nervous. Just because of where we are, I'm going to be in first person for a minute. The reason I don't play an FPP, by the way, is because it makes a lot of people sick when they watch it. It gives me a headache if I play for too long. Unfortunately, I need to leave my building here. Here's the plan. We're gonna take that UAS. You might be saying, hey, Andre, that's not a great idea, man. You shouldn't do that. Well, my response to you is gonna be, I'm gonna use it for cover. In the zone. Because the zone is mostly forest. And I'm going to drive around in a circle till the zone collapses. And the Suez. Wow, I suck. Yeah, I hate this gun. I'm glad I killed that lady, but Jesus. Not that the fucking handgun did me any better, to be honest. I'm gonna use a first aid kit. I have so many, I just need to clear some space in case I find somebody. I'll steal their shit. But that gun. What gun did that guy have? The Groza and the fucking in a car? Man, I stole this med kit. Alright, there's me and one other person. Alright. Let's do this. Okay. That pretty much leaves one place where he can be. Where I wouldn't be able to see him. Them, I guess. That's by that tree over there. Ah, damn it. Yeah, son of a bitch. Alright, that's gonna do it for this episode, but fuck me, that was really good, actually. If I had not panicked, it was the grenade that made me panic. If I had, played it cool, I might have been able to do that. Or if I'd used my handgun, because I probably could have kept on them. But holy shit, that was an intense episode. But yeah, with that, thank you all so much for watching. If you guys like what you saw, let me know. If you guys want to see more, don't subscribe to keep up to date on when I post more videos. And if you really like what you saw, leave a like. Helps the channel grow, helps me out a great deal. But of course, with that, thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!